Welcome back to Studio Friends, and Hot Toys just dropped most of the Fantastic Four. Not all the Fantastic Four, but most of the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Three for now, plus Galactus, which I was not expecting. Thing's massive. It was is it 1/6 scale? Obviously not, because that would be the size of a house, but still very large. But it's a lot of figures to take a look at. So stay tuned to hear my thoughts. Alrighty, starting off, we're just taking a look at Mr. Fantastic and everything that he comes with, and then we'll go more into detail with those things. Looks good. Overall, I'd say it looks a lot like Pedro Pascal, but there seems to be something a little off. What it is, I am not 100% sure, but his face kind of just looks like some sort of like mafioso guy from The Godfather. But, I think overall looks pretty good. It's not 100% dead on, but it's pretty dang close. And let's keep going here. I love this photo. To me, the proportions here just look like a guy standing up and down, and I feel like with the competition with InArt, even though they don't have a Marvel license, they still need to up their game. They're not just reusing the same body here and there. And yeah, the proportions here look fantastic, and I feel like they kind of stopped just giving everyone like pads. Like they just got like too jacked all of a sudden. If you remember, like even like Luke Skywalker, like the best been Luke Skywalker. Like I feel like they added a little bit too much padding, and he had a little bit too much muscle mass on him. But here, I feel like Reed Richards looks like how he should look, like how his body should look, and I love the natural folds in the fabric in his costume. That's a great pick there. That got me convinced. And here's just a little full body photo of the same pose. Yeah, that's great. That looks like a dude standing there. I wish the Superman figure used the same material, because if you saw the movie, you can tell he's got a lot of wrinkles and stuff on the costume as a whole. Anywho, moving on. So we got him here with the elongated hand. This is cool. I love the use of this and kind of showing how his powers work. Because realistically, how else, it'd be hard if they had something weird rubber that you could pose, but I kind of like the hard plastic, the sculpted limbs here. That's pretty awesome, especially right here. That's cool. And you can tell, like, obviously the pants and stuff are all sculpted, but it looks perfect. It's a sculpture-esque type addition to the figure. And, like, it forces your hand on how you're going to kind of pose it. And realistically, no offense to a lot of fans of Hot Toys, I'm always scoping out Facebook and Reddit, and some of y'all poses are not great. No offense, but some of them, they're just standing up and down. It makes the figure kind of look cheap. But here, it's forcing you to have the legs posed this way, and then you can kind of do something interesting up top. But I think this is going to be a great way to pose them. It's going to really look super dynamic on the shelf. And here we got the arm. The arm's kind of silly. I'm not going to lie. The upper body here is a little silly. But, combined with those elongated legs could look pretty cool. It'd be a very tall figure, but it looked pretty cool. And then let's get up and close to that Pedro Pascal head sculpt. Here, like, to me, in this photo, it does not look like Pedro Pascal. It looks like a guy, like Pedro Pascal off Temu. That's what that looks like. There's just something, I don't know what it is, because with that Last of Us Joel figure, they nailed it. They nailed that Pedro Pascal head sculpt with that figure. And I don't know with this one. It's just like, what'd you do different? Like, what did you change? But at the same time, it's good. It's just, I like that they didn't just reuse that face and throw on this 1950s suave haircut. But yeah, there's just something off, and I just can't put my finger on it. In animation, it's called the Uncanny Valley, which is all over the place back in like the early 2000s, especially with, oh my God, the Polar Express. That's like the official movie of the Uncanny Valley. And this kind of has a little bit. Okay, let's move on from Mr. Fantastic and go to Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Looking at everything she has here, a little bit of a spoiler. I did not know the baby was in it. I only saw the teaser as I normally do, so that was a bit of a bummer to see, but everything she comes with, it's what is to be expected. Let's take a full look at her here. Yeah, same thing with Pedro Pascal in terms of the body proportions, and then they just look super realistic. This looks really good to me. I love the costumes. It's the simplicity. They're just able to nail it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an outfit, which is, I find, really easy to scale down into 1/6. And it looks really good. And here she is again with this another pose. Yeah, it just looks kind of like a semi-perfect figure, not gonna lie. I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, um, but just looking at these figures, I kind of want to pre-order some. And then, yeah, I hear from you, it was like a spoiler with the baby. I wish I kind of didn't know that before I saw these photos, but it is what it is. But it's a little awkward looking, like her, you know, um, deadpan face with holding a baby is a little strange, but I doubt anyone will be having her pose like this in their display. But overall, looks pretty good. Yeah, this another one, little family pick. No one's doing that. No one's doing that on display, but good option. Okay, here with a head sculpt. I saw some people complaining. I get the complaints. I think everything's just like a little pale. Like, is her hair that blonde? It's almost like white in these photos. But I mean, the likeness is enough for me, but I'm not too much of a stickler for her likeness here. I think it's good. I'm sure if people complain enough on social media, they'll adjust something. They always tend to listen. And let's move on to the thing. I think this one looks the best out of all of them, because obviously, it's not a human, so it's a little easier to get away with likeness here. But I think for me, the best part is the eyes. The moving eyes on here that looks like humans' eyes on a rock. I think it looks really good here. It's gonna be a huge figure. I'm assuming he's gonna be kind of rubbery, but yeah, it looks really good. I wish I was a Fantastic Four fan. Actually, a part of me wishes that, thankfully I'm not, because I'd be very poor. But if I were, I would definitely get him. And I think he looks better with the suit on. I think that just looks way cooler. I don't know why, but I think he just looks more realistic. Maybe because you don't see the seams on the shoulder, but that looks awesome. Yeah, that head sculpt's incredible. Like, if I worked on this movie, this is the figure I would get if I worked on this movie. That's just really, really good. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, the beard, that's another spoiler. I don't know why he has a beard. I didn't know rocks could grow beards, but I just love the design of this character. It's just like straight out of like a Jack Kirby drawing. Like, it's just, I love how they use, like, the movie takes place in a kind of alternate 50s, and they're using the 50s drawings. It was great. Like, Marvel did a really good job with all these costumes. And here they are, all standing next to each other. And this is going back to us saying about the costumes. Like, I think it was like Brian Merendig. I can't really forget how to say his last name. But all of his costume designs, he's the head of concept designs over at Marvel. All of his costumes kind of look the same. And I've noticed people are starting to complain about it with like all the panel lines and everything. But this one, they did such a good job of adapting to the time period they're in, making them super comic accurate, but then also making them real. And yeah, they just did such a great job on these costumes. And obviously, we haven't seen Johnny Storm yet. I'm sure he'll just be released later on, maybe with a full flame-on version, which would be pretty sweet. I'm assuming a lot of people would like to have both. Maybe it'll come in a 2-pack. Maybe that's what they're waiting for, and they're saving that spoiler for post-movie. And now, okay, so who thought Galactus was going to be made? I know I didn't. Also, did not know what he was going to look like in the movie. I know what he looks like in the comics. Did not know he was going to look like this in the movie, which is yet another spoiler. It would have been cool if they didn't do this right away, but it is what it is. We all knew he was in the movie, I think. But he looks great. And I love how he comes with like the little Fantastic Four to scale along with the Silver Surfer. Yeah, this thing's massive. And the design is, I think, as good as you can get. Like, it's such a funky design of the character in the comics. And I'm happy they didn't make him like a smoke monster or something stupid like that. They actually just like really leaned into the comic book design. And it just looks really, really good. I'm saying good a lot, which is good for them. Yeah, I like all the greebling they have. It's very Star Wars-esque. Because he's massive. He's like bigger than the Death Star, So you're going to have all like greebling on him to make him kind of just look a little bit more detailed. Another close-up here. It's just a cool figure if you got the space. If you got the space, this is a good one. Here's a close-up of all the to-scale Fantastic Four fighting him. It gives you an idea how big he is going to be in the movie. Honestly, looking at these figures got me pretty hyped for this movie. The teaser trailer, I was like, okay, cool, I'm definitely going to watch it. But this figure, it's kind of getting me to want to buy a ticket early. And then here's Galactus to scale with Mr. Fantastic So if he's 12 inches tall, this guy's like 3 and a bit. I know it's got his measurements, but I'm not gonna change that into feet. Yeah, that's a gigantic figure. That's taller than my baby. So it's like, if you got the space, go for it. I'd love to see it in person. All right, so to wrap things up, will I be getting these figures? Currently, the answer is no, even though they do look pretty fantastic all side by side. Sorry for the pun. But yeah, no, all in all, definitely won't be buying any of these. There's too many Marvel figures coming out, especially with Avengers. We got Wolverine coming in, retired animator, so not working on any other Marvel movies to add to my Hot Toys collection. So for me, it will be a pass, unfortunately. However, if I were to choose just one to add to my collection, it'd probably have to be Mr. Fantastic, because I like Pedro Pascal. I got a Mandalorian figure, so let's just make a whole group of Pedro Pascals on one shelf. Add Joel to the mix. Why not? But yeah, if I were to pick one, Mr. Fantastic. Otherwise, not going to get any of these. But whoever, anyone who gets these figures, kudos. They look awesome. And hopefully your significant other is okay with it. Thank you for staying tuned in this video. Let me know, are you planning on buying these Fantastic Four figures? Are you going to get all of them? Are you just going to get one? Is your wallet prepared to do that? Would you even be getting Galactus? That thing is gigantic. Let me know what your thoughts are on down below. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.